Welcome back, you fucking pigeons, to the Bottom Six podcast. We're your hosts, Alex,
impressive.
Tyler, and Trevor. Let's fucking go. We're going to the Pacific Division preview. And you know what? Fuck you, Tyler. I guess we can start with the Edmonton Oilers. You know,
Fuck it. I thought we were starting with Anaheim.
fuck Anaheim. Like what did they didn't even do anything. They're lame. Let's go to a team that, you know, has at least some energy to them. At least the Oilers are going to be interesting to watch this year.
Damn, they lost a lot of people.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Anaheim is just like a bunch of young guys, and
So major signings were Hyman.
Zachariah
That's pretty much
Hyman.
the only really. It's really the only big name.
Don't forget about
Obviously
Cody
not the big
Ceci,
name, but the
Leaf
one-
and Senator legend.
Cody Ceci, the jury's still out on whether he was a good signing or if this is going to be a disaster. So we'll have to wait. And then they grabbed Warren Fugali.
Fogel.
I don't know how to say his last name.
Fogely or whatever.
Fogel, that's it. I don't know where I got Fugali. I always call him Fogel. But so they traded Ethan Bear for him. Still a little sour.
I would be sour about that
follow
too.
Carolina.
I'd be sour about that too.
I see how they always post about Barron. It's like they're teasing us over there, so that's always sad. But from what I've seen out of him so far, he's going to be a solid player to have in the bottom six. He's
A
machine,
bottom six?
an
Come on,
absolute
you traded fucking
machine.
Ethan Bear for him, for God's sakes. Bottom six.
That's fine. We don't need him in the top six, buddy. The top six is Hyman, McDavid, Puljujärvi.
Why'd you get him? Why'd you get him?
Nugent
You should have just
Hopkins,
kept
and
Ethan
Yamamoto.
Bear, goddammit.
No.
Kept Ethan
They
Bear.
had to
and-
sign Cody Ceci, so
Yeah.
they had to fill his
They had to
spot.
sign Cody
You know
Ceci,
why?
I guess.
You know why they got him?
They had,
Because the bottom six has always been a disaster, and that guy is
they
gonna
had to trade
power
for
the
Duncan
bottom six.
Keith.
Oh, they only got rid of
Come
Seth
on
Jones. Like,
here.
Seth Jones wasn't really playing much.
Caleb. That's us.
So they signed Derek Ryan. Brendan Perlini actually is looking real great right now. He's got 5 goals in 5 games. He's second on the team in scoring behind McDavid. So he's looking. I'm really impressed. I have a feeling he's going to be on the bottom four, or he's going to be on the fourth line come opening day.
Really, I think the main weakness of the Oilers is the goaltending. Mike Smith and Mikko Koskinen again. I guess Stalock is your third string. They're all
Stalock's not
old
gonna play
fucking
this
men.
year.
33
Stalock's
years
out.
old, 39 years old, and 34.
Stalock's out, bro. He's done for the
Jesus, so you only got Mike Smith and Mikko Koskinen. Like, that's not looking pretty.
season. Stuart
You
Skinner.
gotta hope that...
He had a
Well, that's the thing. You gotta
Stuart
hope either
Skinner
Mike
had a
Smith is
wicked-
amazing again, or you gotta hope that Skinner can come in and take up the mantle.
Skinner could very well be a fucking Bennington. The
I
kid
mean,
put
that's
up
a
great
big hope and a
numbers last
prayer,
year.
though. Like, come on, you can't just immediately go like, this is gonna be the next Jordan Bennington story right here. I mean, he could do it,
Well,
but
fucking
that's the only thing I would say. If I was an Oilers fan, I'd be worried about the net. But your defense it's besides Cody Ceci, it looks like a decent enough defensive core.
now people think Cece's gonna slot in the top 4. I
No.
don't agree. I think Bouchard's gonna slide into top 4 right off the hop. And so having Cece on the bottom third pair is not really that bad for me. I'm okay with that.
It's like he
And
played third
so
pair
they-
in Pittsburgh. It's like I'd essentially leave him there. You put him top 4 or more, he's going to
Yeah.
become more of a liability than an asset.
He's a perfectly adequate bottom pairing D. Like, that's where he should be. That's his role. You put him there, he's fine.
Yeah. So Hyman, McDavid, Puljujärvi, I believe is going to start on the number 1 line. I mean, why not? You brought Hyman in to be a winger on McDavid, so you might as well roll with those 3. They have looked absolutely fucking lightning quick out there. They're just flying around the ice. Like that one goal where it was like Puljujärvi got the puck, threw a sick sauce to McDavid in the slot, backhand, and then McDavid found Hyman backdoor. Now, even before that, there was like a 30 seconds where they were just buzzing around the zone, getting all the loose pucks. Like, I think it was against Seattle, I believe it happened. In Seattle, couldn't even touch the puck. These guys were just floating. Like, it was crazy. And then you got Nuge, Draisaitl, Yamamoto. Now, 2 years ago or last year, not last season, but the season before that, before the COVID shut down the season, that was one of the best top 6 lines in the NHL. Like, they were each averaging a point per game. Nugent Hopkins was putting up huge numbers. Draisaitl was too. Yamamoto was 1 point below a point per game since he'd come up. So I think if they can find some chemistry again, that's going to be a very deadly top 6. Like, that could easily, well, in my opinion, be one of the best top 6s in the fucking NHL. Now, where they've struggled is the bottom 6, but I think this year they're looking much better. Foegele, Ryan, Cassian, going to be a pretty solid bottom 3, although I don't think Ryan's going to be there. I personally think, technically his name is Ryan, but I think Ryan McLeod is going to be the third line center between Cassian and Foegele. And then I think it's going to be Shore or Turris and Ryan and Perlini. Holloway's out with, I believe he's having surgery, but he could, if he comes back, he could easily jump into that bottom 6 and fill a role, because I honestly think he's ready for the NHL. There's no point, if he's ready to go, there's no point sending him to the AHL. Like, we need players now. McDavid's not getting any younger.
Yeah, exactly. It's win now mode for Edmonton.
Yeah, Nurse, Barry. I mean, that's going to be... If Nurse plays like he can, he'll be able to cover Barry. Barry had a good offensive season. His defense still scares me quite a bit. But
That's the offset with him, basically.
Yeah, I'm not totally bummed that they brought Barry back, but at the same time, it's like, I would have rathered Larson, but it is what it is. Larson, I don't think, wanted to be in Edmonton any longer.
Yeah, so it's like, Barry seemed to be fine with there, so...
Keith Bouchard, I think, would be a great line. I think Bouchard would learn so much playing on Keith's line. Even Cuckoo and Bouchard, they looked well. They looked good in training camp, and they've been stepping up. They've been wanting to take on McDavid's line quite a lot in practice, which is huge to see that Bouchard's ready to, constantly challenge McDavid every day in practice. Which, I mean, how else do you get better though than playing the best player in the NHL, or best player in the world, probably every fucking rep.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, that's a perfect training partner right there, basically, right?
Yeah. And as long as Russell's not in the lineup, I'm happy.
So we'll put the press box.
60 good enough to keep him out. If he can sit in the press box, then I'm happy. If they can keep him out, I'm good. And then, like you said, question mark and goal, Smith and Koskinen. But you never know with Stuart Skinner. Skinner could possibly step in and fill that role if need be.
I don't know, man.
Koskinen.
It's like, wasn't it like, I don't recall off the top of my head, but I don't remember his numbers being that great. Because he did play some NHL games last year, but don't think it was that great.
He only played one NHL game, but he played in the AHL. He played 31 games. He had a .238 goals against average, a .914 save percentage, and he was 29-2. So he put up, that was his best year in Bakersfield.
Okay.
Basically, like, what I'd be worried about is just that depth of, like, if say both of them go down, sure, you put Skinner in, but then who else do you got? Some other random fucking guy probably in the AHL.
Konolov.
Yeah, whoever that is. So you got one of those guys come up, but it's like...
He's been one of the best goalies in the KHL.
It's just the risk you take, because, like, it's just like, if you... Say Smith is just like, I'm old, ooh, I pulled something. Then you got Koskinen, he's doing kind of meh. Then you put in Skinner, and then what if it doesn't pay off and he's not ready, so you got to put him back. Then I guess you get this KHL dude, but it's just like, there's going to be a point I could see the Oilers like trying to snipe somebody off waivers or...
Well, apparently they were close to grabbing Darcy Kemper.
Oh yeah, Colorado.
I guess Colorado swooped in at the 11th hour and we're like, here, we'll give you this. And they're like, okay, cool, thanks.
Well, do you know what the Oilers were offering in comparison to what Arizona got? Because I'm pretty sure they got a first, like they at least got a first rounder.
Yeah, first and Timmins, and I think that was fall.
Yeah, I think it was first and Connor Timmins, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I think Arizona wanted Broberg. I think was one of the asks. I could be
Yeah,
wrong, but
well, and the thing too is I don't know if
they're not going to give up. Fucking
I don't know were
Broberg.
the
That'd be
Oilers willing to
stupid.
give up their first round too? I don't know if they were willing to trade it away.
Apparently, there was a conditional third that's a couple years down the line that was also involved, but if that even gets enacted, we'll have to wait and
Yeah.
see.
My here was my here. I don't know if this was true, but I heard it was they wanted Bouchard or Broberg in the trade, and it's just like no, that's no. You don't give up those two guys. They could be each could be a top two defenseman in the NHL. Like it's bad enough they gave up fucking Ethan Bear and Seth Jones. They can't be giving up those guys too.
Yeah, exactly. You got to keep some of those young pieces. But yeah, I guess should we move on? I mean, I don't know if you. I guess we can briefly cover Anaheim. I don't think they're really all that
Go
exciting.
to Anaheim, but here's the weird thing with Anaheim. You'd think with all the guys going to free agency, and it's like you have a couple guys go out the door, they literally added no one. No one was added that is going to make an impact on their NHL roster. As like, if you're wanting to develop these younger guys, then why not bring at least someone? Like, even if it's someone on their fourth line, like, come on.
I guess they have a lot of faith in the younger guys because it's like, okay, yeah, Zegras probably will be in the lineup, I'm guessing. But yeah, they're kind of like another team that just like a Buffalo
that
Detroit kind
lineup
of situation. It's just
That lineup might be as ugly as
yeah, like it's just like you're
lineup.
looking at it, it's like okay, I know like Getzlaff, sure, Comtois, I think he's like an okay younger player coming up. Raquel,
This lineup would have been
sure.
sick 12 years ago.
It's just like they don't really got anything there. Like John Gibson, yeah, he's a good goalie. He's pretty much the only thing good about the team.
Their defense isn't too bad with Fowler, Manson, Lindholm, Shattenkirk. That's essential. You can play your top four. Like that's not
Yeah.
a bad top four though.
It seems like to me, it seems like they're really giving like the young guys a shot, and it's just kind of like you guys, here's
Why the
your
fuck- why
opportunity.
not, right?
That's the thing. It's like, what if they seize it and all of a sudden, like a couple of these guys end up breaking out and having big years, right? Like maybe they actually do become relevant. If they don't, then they end up bottom of the league and they got another top draft pick, right? So it's
Yeah, sometimes you just got to take a chance. You know, they're not exactly like the guys they would have brought in. Nobody probably wanted to go to Anaheim, so it was like even if they would have brought guys in, like would they have really made that much of a difference?
yeah.
Or
It
they
would have
could
been
just
it would have been just trade
give
bait
the-
for the deadline, just to maybe
give the
recruit.
young kids a fucking shot.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah,
and
see what
then
they do.
Save some of your cap, and they're on like they're 13 million. They got 13 million projected in cap space.
yeah, that's like the only
Like,
loss.
why not just take a shot with the young kids?
Mhm. They only lost Heinen, Carter Rowney, Backus to retirement, and then Florian expansion and then Miller. It's like it's not like they've lost anything too significant either. It's just
Exactly.
they're wanting to build up their team. I don't think they're quite there yet, but give it a couple of years and they might be stronger than ever.
Like Drysdale's Zegras, Sam Steele, they're all on entry level contracts. Fucking Troy Terry's making 1.4. Like Sonny Milano's making 1.7. It's not like they're really paying anybody huge numbers. Like that Adam Henry contract's still kind of ugly, and Silverberg's not exactly the best contract either. But it's not like they're spending millions over overpaid guys, kind of thing, you know. Fuck it, take a shot, see what happens with these young kids, and go from there.
All right, time to move on to Tyler's second favorite team in the league, the Calgary Flames.
Suck it out.
And they made some interesting changes this offseason. I think the biggest acquisition was getting Blake Coleman. I think it was a bit higher of a cap hit than he probably should have gotten, but who knows? Maybe he'll make a big difference for their roster. I mean, Pitlick, Trevor
God,
Lewis,
dude.
Brad Richardson, like all these guys are fucking scrubs. Like, but you know,
I loved Pitlick in Edmonton, but then his spleen burst,
oof.
and then his career kind of went downhill after that.
It's just like basically everyone else here's a plug. Like, there's nobody really notable. And then on the way out, I mean, Mark Giordano, obviously, that's like, they're losing your team captain, so that's a pretty big hit. We'll see how they respond this year, I guess. Like, I don't know if they've named a team captain yet, like a replacement.
At this time, I don't believe so, no.
It'll probably be both Kachuk brothers.
Yeah, after they make their offer sheet to get Brady Kachuk.
Do you imagine they give it to Gaudreau? Like, what a joke that would be.
Yeah, it feels like every year they're like talking about trading him, so I'm not. Yeah, I highly doubt that.
Lucic's gonna wear that.
Yeah, give it to Lucic. Yeah, I mean, fuck you, Phil. Your team looks like dog shit.
Like that mango pineapple kid, I really enjoy. He's
mango pineapple, yeah, Mangiapane.
Mangiapane. I call him mango pineapple.
Mango pineapple.
Because like I'll go on Twitter and there'll be a post about him and I'll say, yeah, that mango pineapple guy's pretty good, and it just pisses Calgary fans off. So anytime I can piss Calgary off,
that's hilarious.
It's like you're writing off
Mango
some of these guys,
pineapple.
but it's like Coleman's probably gonna slot top 6. It's like Zadorov's a fairly good defenseman. It's like some of these guys they've added, they really could. It's like I look at this lineup right now, I would be saying they're on the fringe of playoffs, if not in the playoffs right now.
See, I wanted Zadorov, but I think he would have been better on the bottom 3 or bottom 6.
Yeah, Zadorov.
Bottom line. Jeez. I don't know. I'd like to think Calgary's going to do shit because I hate Calgary.
It's the rivalry, and yeah.
That top 6 isn't, like, if Monahan and Gaudreau can find their game again, that'll be a pretty solid top 6. I mean, Coleman, you never know with Coleman. I mean, he's also been on a heavy Tampa Bay offense, so he never really got top 6 minutes, but he might be a top 6 forward that is playing on the third line. So,
I mean, that's some pretty big playoff experience to bring to the team, too.
The question mark here is probably the same as Edmonton. Goaltending and defense. Markstrom kind of had an off season last year, but if he can bounce back, I'd say they're looking better than Edmonton's goaltending.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like if he has another shit year, it could be a long year for Calgary fans.
It's like he was pretty good in Vancouver. It's like last year, sure, wasn't great like in comparison, but it's like he's still a solid goaltender, which that's like you're gonna take him over Vladar, which you acquired from Boston. It's like Vladar's not terrible either, but it's like he's your backup. It's like Markstrom's your starter. That's not a question here.
Man, they like fucking taking players from Florida and trading them to Vancouver. It seems like the thing they do for goaltenders in Florida. Trevor, where'd your camera go?
What? I still see Trevor.
Mine says Trevor's video has been disabled due to internet quality issues. Their video is still recorded. Oh, okay.
What the fuck?
I'm still here. Hello.
Okay. Well, okay. I mean, let's move along here, boys. Let's move along. We gotta get through this division here. Let's go to LA. Another team that nobody gives a shit about right now.
Oh,
this division's boring, man. This division sucks.
Don't count out LA now. Like,
it's like the two teams that are gonna make it are what, Vegas and Edmonton are probably the two obvious picks. So Calgary has a good opportunity to make it. I mean, who else do they got in here? There's like
Vancouver is gonna have a bounce back.
Vancouver might. Who knows? We'll see.
Seattle, you never know with Seattle. It's too early to say what Seattle's going
I
to do.
honestly wouldn't count out LA either, though, because so they've added Deneau from Montreal. They acquired Arvidsson off of Nashville, and then gotten Edler off of Vancouver. It's like those are essentially the moves that they made. They lost McDermott to expansion, but just about everyone did. But yeah, you look at this lineup. It's actually like, in comparison to years before, I think they could surprise if for certain.
It looks decently competitive. Like they might be middle of the pack. Like I feel like they're going to be in that 5-6 range, kind of like the Senators, Habs with the Atlantic kind of. That's how I feel like they'll be. I guess what you're saying, Trevor, like they'll be fighting, but I don't know if they're gonna make it.
I think Byfield's gonna crack the roster this year. I think he'll be on the team.
I think he's injured. He just got an injury just the other
Yeah,
day.
he's
So
injured right now, but I think when he comes back, I'm pretty sure they'll have him play.
I don't know. It's just,
I mean,
where do you
it's
slot
another.
him?
It's another Anaheim situation, right? Like, why not take a shot with one of your younger kids? You're not winning anyways.
Yeah.
Like, their leading scorer has 3 points through preseason, and that's Vladimir Tkachev. Who the fuck is that? Like, I've never even heard of this guy. Like, Trevor doesn't even have him in the lineup.
I didn't see him on. That's like.
And he's got 3 assists in 4 games, and he's leading the team in scoring.
It's probably just trying to crack the roster. He probably might not even make it. Who'd you say it was? Sorry,
Vladimir Tkachev.
Vladimir Tkachev. Yeah, because I think on Cow Friendly, when I was looking for him, I didn't see him. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I was like, I don't know, he's 26, so if he's going to make the team, it's going to have to be this year. It's like he's just played a whole bunch in the KHL for a couple of years, so if he cracks the roster, he cracks the roster, but...
Yeah, I don't know about him.
Okay, well, let's.
Vladimir Tkachev.
What's the next
Apparently, he
one
was
here?
an Oilers player at one point. So that just shows you how much I know nothing about him.
I want to look at Seattle as the next team, boys.
Okay.
Why can't you just go in alphabetical order?
It's more fun this way.
It's only San Jose. Like, it's San Jose and then Seattle, so it's like, it's still an S. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Nobody cares about San Jose this year anyway.
Is it that? Is that where we're at? Is San Jose?
Yeah. That's
Oh,
like
yeah.
a whole bunch of teams. We've got San Jose, Seattle, we've got Vancouver, and we've got Vegas to cover still. So it's like, it's just a whole bunch
Seattle
of teams.
had every single person come in.
Yeah, it's like,
So they have an entire new lineup this year.
They got some solid goaltending with Grubauer and Drieger in net.
yeah.
They
Their
got a
defense,
great-
I think, is pretty solid. They could maybe use a bit more like star power up front, but I mean, it's a decent, like, well-rounded kind of forward core to start with. I think like Jaden Swartz isn't bad. Jordan Eberle, Yanni Gord, even Wenberg, Donskoy.
Where's Eberle?
Huh?
I don't see
It's
Eberle
not
in the
highlighted.
lineup. Oh, I didn't see the top.
Wait, they got
one there. I
they got a
missed it.
decent forward core here.
It was like Wenberg and fucking Tanev are in your top 6. Okay, so we missed the first whole line.
Yeah.
Jaden Schwartz, Gord, Eberle. See, Schwartz is a third-line player. Gord, same thing. But again, Gord was buried because Tampa has a crazy top 6. So it's
Yeah.
got to be something special to play in that. So Gord could be a top 6. Eberle's like a top 6 guy. McCann, I think as much as Toronto fans didn't really mind losing him, I think it would have been better.
I would have been
if they
happy
had lost
for them to keep him,
Kerfoot or
too.
someone else. I think McCann would be much better. Would have been much better for Toronto than who they kept.
Yeah, because so they added Schwartz, they added Wenberg, and then they also added some couple depth guys, Johansson, Sheehan, and Donato. And then it's like, everyone's still new because of the expansion draft, but they did get rid of a couple guys. Got rid of Pitlick, which we spoke of with Calgary. They just traded back Vanacek to Washington, which I found a little weird. I was like, kind of the same thing. They just it's like Gavin Bayreuther. I was like, he wasn't going to crack the NHL roster. It wasn't going to make too much difference anyways, but they let him sign back in Columbus. Then they traded Kurz Dirk to Colorado, rather. So they made a couple moves, but nothing that's...
No,
that's
yeah,
like,
they pretty much kept steady with the guys they drafted.
I'd say they probably battle for a wild card.
I think they
spot.
could make it, especially in this division. Like, they could take advantage of it.
Well, everyone's gonna make the
Vancouver.
comparison.
Yeah.
Seattle, how are they gonna do in comparison? Oh, Vegas made it in their first year. It's like that's not
I don't think
happening.
they're going to
Like,
be
yeah,
another Vegas replication. There's no way. They're just built completely differently. Yeah, Vancouver is going to be interesting because they just I know Tyler just kind of mentioned them. They're going to be interesting because they just signed, or I guess re-signed, Pedersen and Hughes, which I was interested to see how they were going to manage that with the cap room, which they're literally at maxed out cap space. They have $0.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with bringing in Oliver Ekman-Larsson, like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, but now I think he's over his
Yeah, it's
prime,
like the
and
dude's 30.
I think they just took on a contract.
Oh
for
my
no fucking
god,
reason.
he's 30 years old. They have him at like 7.25 for 6 more years. Oh, even longer than that. UFA end at
he
26,
signed a really
27.
long-term deal when he was with Arizona, and that's why Arizona had to hold
Yeah, he
part
has
of his
6
salary.
years still on that contract, so like that's fucking. They're locked in on him for a long time.
That's crazy. And they got Connor Garland at almost $5 million for the next 5 seasons too. Like I don't know what. Like Connor Garland's a little younger, so I mean 5 years, but Oliver Ekman-Larsson's gonna be 37 by the time that
Oh,
contract
God, I
runs
know.
out.
That's the thing. It's like,
And they have a no move clause.
I mean, they
don't know how
managed to
much
fit
salary they
Pedersen
retained.
and Hughes, but like, let's see here. Next year, they got Brock Besser. They got to re-sign next season.
Yeah, who's gonna want a pay grade?
Oh yeah, he's gonna want like a few million extra per year on that. Like he's gonna want a big deal. And then Jack Rathbone, it looks like a younger guy, is gonna be an RFA.
Not really.
Holy you Levy.
And you got Travis Hominick in 2 years, but he'll probably be gone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it
like
seems like
they've got
next
some
year.
contracts they can shed at least.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't sound like they're going to be too much of a hassle. It sounds like, but it's like it kind of worked out for them, I guess. Things with this was like they're able to get Pedersen and Hughes on 7 mil ish deals, like 7.3 and 7.6, like approximately for each. And it's like, hey, if you're spending every last dollar to get your top players, it's like it makes sense at the end of the day.
I mean, they
I don't
maximized their cap use at least.
Yeah, and it's like right now the cap's kind of in flux because of how things have gone over the past season or two. But once everything starts opening up again, we might continue back on the rise as we once were.
Oh yeah, even Vegas, they're fucking maxed out. They probably are over the cap, if anything, I bet. Because I don't even think when I think about Vegas, I don't even think they really did a whole lot this off season. They got Dadonov, I guess, from Ottawa. I don't remember what they traded to you guys for him though.
We got Holden and a pick. I don't remember
okay.
the round, but
Well, you got your regular William Karlsson, Jonathan Marchessault.
they brought in.
Well, they got Nolan Patrick.
It's like
who might,
oh yeah, and they got Nolan Patrick.
yeah.
But I think that's really all the moves they
might-
made.
They also
Yeah,
brought
they
in
might-
Brossois for back goalie. It's like so essentially instead of having your Leonard Fleury tandem,
Oh yeah, yeah.
just completely rely on
I
Leonard.
think they took a step back this year with the team they got because they lost Reeves as well.
Yep, they did. Yeah, they lost Reeves.
Was just Reeves is just tenacity. It's like he's not going to be putting you up many points.
Yeah, he was just the
No, but
scary
he's
guy on the team.
He's your tough guy that puts some
But yeah, I mean,
toughness out there.
there's not much change here. I mean, yeah, it's
There's
I
still a
don't-
solid
think
roster at
that
the end.
they're
of the
gonna
day.
be probably one of the best teams in the division. But who knows? Yeah, if they're as elite as they were, like it's possible Edmonton takes over first in the division this year. But I think it's really gonna be a battle between Vegas and Edmonton for that first spot.
Could be. Who knows?
That's what I'm saying. My vote's
I don't
between
wanna
those
put
two.
too
They're
much-
probably going to be the top two teams. And then shortly behind them,
I don't wanna put too
Calgary
much.
and Seattle. That's my picks.
All right, so I guess we can do how we think this is gonna finish.
Well,
So
let's
I'm
run
gonna
over
go.
San Jose quick because we did skip over
Oh yeah,
them.
we
So it's
forgot
like
about those
there's
dust
nothing,
bags.
there's nothing too significant for them. It's like they've added a whole bunch of depth guys. The only thing that's really different per se is their goaltending tandem is completely
Evander
different.
Kane's
They're
going to
looking at
jail.
Hill, they're looking at Reimer, and then yeah, it's like they
Yeah,
got rid of Jones, in which Jones wasn't.
their
Really,
goaltending's basically a question mark at this point.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't think they've even made like just looking at the roster, it looks pretty much the exact same as last year. I think they got Benito. Looks like
Yeah,
Because they're
so
absolute cap hell.
yeah, like they're fucked basically. So they're stuck with this shit.
Like they got
all the
cap
time.
room, but they got 8 million in Logan. I mean, that's 7 million for Evander Kane will probably come off. 6 million for Timo Meyer, and they got fucking 11.5 for Eric Carlson. Like that's ugly. That's still 7 more years
Oh
of that. Too.
god. Yeah, that's the thing. What else do you say about San Jose? They're fucked.
they
For
added
the
Benino,
division,
they added
though,
Cog. Yeah, if you want to take a look at that.
let's see. Let's make our.
All right. I'll go ahead and start at 8. I think this is probably mostly unanimous, but maybe not. Looking at Anaheim at 8. Don't see them doing much this year.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with Anaheim, but me personally, I could probably throw any of the California teams there.
Yeah, like Anaheim. Well, I'll say Anaheim 8 and then San Jose 7.
Which
Yeah, I'll say San Jose 7.
we're all in agreement there, because San Jose 7 here.
Yeah, LA 6th.
No,
LA
I'd say LA 6 as well.
It's,
And then I'd probably go Vancouver 5.
I'm agreeing with that too. Vancouver 5. Trevor's the only one in disagreement here. That he thinks they're making the playoffs. I guess.
I honestly have them in the division spots. I would put them at 3, and I'm going to give Seattle 5. As sure they're all right, but no.
Well, then what's your number 4, man?
Number 4? I'm taking Calgary at 4.
Yeah, I got Calgary at 4.
I was taking Seattle at 4. Calgary at number 3
I got
for me.
I got Seattle at 3. I'm gonna take a bold
We're
guess
not
on them.
doing
And say
this. This is not happening
I
again.
am doing it.
Like, let's be clear
I
here.
bet it. Well, Vegas came in and won the division. I don't think they're gonna win the division, but I think they could beat out those 5 teams.
I don't think they won the division. I think they got second, but they eked out the number 1 team at the time. I don't remember who it was, and then beat Winnipeg in conference to make the finals.
Well, then what's your top 2 picks, boys? I'm
I think
saying
I'm
saying Vegas number 1, Edmonton 2.
Yeah, that's what I got too.
There's nothing really too different between us. It's just kind of.
So I'm like, this
that
division's
Vancouver-
boring. It's too predictable. That one's like you already know who's fucking making it. But there's not even a point in playing it.
Yeah,
Just pick the 4
I've
teams that you
But-
want, move on.
So the way I look at it is the bottom 3, Vegas, San Jose, Anaheim, are interchangeable. Any 3 of those I think can swap. And I have the same with 3, 4, and 5. Seattle, Calgary, and Vancouver. I think those guys are going to swap. I just threw Seattle out there to be controversial, but I think Vancouver, Calgary, or Seattle could squeak in.
I mean, basically, like I'm in
pretty sure
agreement.
it's
Like
gonna
I
be
have
Vegas, Edmonton.
Calgary, Seattle, and Vancouver, like all kind of in the same cluster of like one of these guys are probably going to sneak in. One's going to fall short. And one's going to be in that like maybe they're going to sneak a wild card.
Honestly, with this division though, it's like I've got Vancouver at 3, and it's like Calgary's my 4. I'm sorry, but the Central Division's too strong. I'm taking the 2 teams from the Central over Calgary for playoffs.
Yeah. So Vegas did win
Okay.
the Pacific their first year. So they were first, and then they lost to the Capitals in the finals. Then they were third, lost in the first round to the Sharks. Then they were first, lost in the conference final to the Stars, and then second in the West last year, and obviously lost to the Canadiens.
And Vegas fans are probably all up in arms on that San Jose series in which they lost the first round because of I think it was the hit.
Oh
up
yeah,
on
that whole
Pavelski.
controversial hand pass. It was like so blatantly obvious. Like I was like watching it. I'm like I was like, oh you dumbass, like because I thought he fucked up the play, and then they just like shot it in. Oh, goal! They just let it happen. I was like, the dude batted it out in midair with his paw.
Well, it's like there's
Some of
even the
those-
Pavelski hit, the hit up on Pavelski, I should say, which gave him like a 5-minute penalty in Game 7.
Oh,
And
yeah,
then
so they
ended up
caught-
getting
they
scored
caught-
on like 3 times.
Yeah,
And
they
that
came
killed
back
him.
and
Vegas
fucking won
fans
it.
aren't allowed to say shit, okay? They didn't go through the bullshit that all of our teams gone. If Vegas fans have anything to say, they can shut the fuck up. I don't give a fuck. You've been in the league for 4 years. You have no reason to bitch about nothing. You've been in the playoffs every year, so shut the fuck up. They have nothing to bitch about. Because 2017, they wouldn't have made it to the conference finals, or they wouldn't have made it to the Stanley Cup if fucking Edmonton didn't get robbed in that Anaheim series. When fucking dipshit Ryan Kessler grabbed a hold of Talbot's fucking pads and basically opened the fucking seas for him. Like, here you go, boys, score a fucking goal. I gotta hold his pads open. League's like, don't see any fucking goaltender interference there. So if any fucking Vegas fan has something to say, fucking DM me and I'll fight you wherever. I don't give a fuck. You're not on the bitch.
Well,
Fuck Vegas.
I guess, and with that, let's wrap up the episode. That's a perfect way to finish her off, I think, boys.
Yeah, I'm fucking sick of Vegas fans. But you know what? Your Vegas team lost to my boys in football on Monday, so fuck you, Vegas.
All right, well, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for catching us on the Bottom Six Podcast. Please tune in for the next episode. Maybe we'll be doing another season's preview. Maybe we'll just be talking about the start of the regular season. Don't know when we're recorded next yet. We'll see.
Adios.